Welcome to my studio. Today we're working on the Doily pumpkin, and this is a real fun, inexpensive, quick project, and let's get started. First of all, I'm going to be using a pumpkin from any of the dollar stores, just the foam pumpkin, and I'm going to go ahead and put a color or a wash over the top of it, and I am using the multi-surface paint so that it will go on the plastic without any problem. It is acrylic paint, but it is a multi-surface paint, so it goes well over the plastic. And the color I'm using today is Pueblo, and I'm going to start by just putting it onto my pumpkin, but I'm going to do a wash, and a wash means you're adding water to it. It's not just straight. You can kind of still see through it. We're kind of getting that kind of wood grain almost look to it. So we're just adding a little bit of water to our paint. And I'm going to start at the bottom and then pull it all the way up. You don't want a lot of water, but you don't want your paint thick. It should be going on nice and smooth. You should be able to see your base color through it. And we're just going to bring that all the way around. You can see that almost wood grainy, like I said, kind of look to it. It's getting that kind of awkward orange color of the pumpkin off, and I really think these would be gorgeous for Thanksgiving. Kind of doing them in Halloween colors right now, but I think with Thanksgiving, with kind of an orange or different fall feel colors than just Halloween. So don't get stuck in the colors I'm showing you today. I think some yellows and oranges would be really pretty too. If you were doing an orange colored one, you could put maybe a yellow wash on your pumpkin. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you could do to that. So we've got that all kind of nice and covered pretty well, nice and neat there. And this is a good time to set it onto your dry board. We do have dry boards at MiriamJoy.com, and what that allows us to continue drying on the bottom, and you don't get stuck to anything, as well as on the top. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll get started from there. Alright, now that our wash on our pumpkin has dried, we're going to go ahead and put our doily on. And my doilies I picked up at the craft store, the dollar section, Dollar Tree, wherever you can find them. You want them kind of big enough that they'll go onto your pumpkin at least halfway down, but not too big. This is just the right size for our dollar store pumpkins. This little center part we're going to cut out, and I try to just cut the top part, and I usually have my smaller scissors here. We'll go ahead and try to do these with our bigger scissors. And if you get the other part, don't worry about it. We're just going to Mod Podge it all tight, so it shouldn't matter anyway. Shouldn't worry about it unraveling. Don't pull anything. And I also removed my tag off of it. You usually can pull that tag right off or cut it off, whatever. And our last little guy here. And I use this guy and put him on another one for kind of a patch. I think it's really cute, or a snowflake, or whatever you want to do here. So we're going to Mod Podge that on and make it nice and stiff and hard. Roll your Mod Podge to mix it. Don't shake it, because then you get the bubbles. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour my Mod Podge into a bowl where I can work with it with my brush. Now see, that fits perfect around that pumpkin stem. So if you got a different kind of doily, you could cut that middle a little bit wider or whatever you needed just to kind of fit that nice and neat. And I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on it first so that it sticks nice onto it once we lay it on there. And you can Mod Podge it any way you want to. You could even come in here and put a layer on it, which is what I might do. And I need to go grab my water, have a little bit of water in it as well. But it's going to make it stiff. It's going to stiffen it up. So I went and got my water, and I'm going to put a little bit of water. You can mix it all in one time, or you can do a little bit at a time. And we're just going to start to do our doily and get it nice and soaked. And it'll make it nice and stiff, and it'll also make it adhere to our pumpkin. And if there's a certain way that you think these should lay, then go ahead and make them go that way. So we're going to cover this nice, and when we're done, we're also going to just pull those drips all the way down as well. I really would have liked a yellow one doily for Thanksgiving. I think that would have been real pretty. Or black and purple ones for Halloween. Whatever you want to do. And your Mod Podge, just use whatever one you want. This one is gloss, so if you want satin or matte that isn't as shiny, then use that. There is no right or wrong. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish getting this all nice and wet. And I want to make sure that I don't have any spots that are too built up inside. It's going to dry clear, and once that's done, I'm going to come and I'm just going to make sure that my whole pumpkin is covered with the Mod Podge and all the drips are kind of coming, and I'll watch that for a while. The dry board is really good to place it on at this time, and it can continue to dry without sticking to that too much. So we do have those online at miriamjoy.com, but I'm going to go ahead and finish that up, and then we're going to start crocheting our leaves. With the doily on the pumpkin, I really thought it should have crocheted leaves, and you could put any type of leaves on it if you wanted to. That's totally up to you. Now, I don't crochet by patterns, so what I tell you might not be instructionally correct, so just bear with me. We're going to start by putting our knot in our thread. We pull that nice and tight. We put that around our fingers. I'll do it one more time in case you missed that. We take it, we make a circle, we put our crochet hook in and pull it out. Now I couldn't find crochet thread that was small enough, so I just took what I had and put it into two, or what do we call these? two strands. I took 2 strands and did it and separated it, and I am using a G size hook or a 6 size crochet hook, and I'm going to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the first one I'm going to do a slip stitch. So we pulled it through both of those. The second one, we're going to do a single crochet, pull it through first, and then catch it again and pull it through one more time. And then we're going to do a double crochet, half a double crochet. So I'm going to pick up the yarn, go through my chain, pull it through, and I'm going to come through all 3 of those instead of doing them in half. So I'm going to do a double crochet this time,
And I'm not going to go into each individual one. There's a lot of videos that can tell you those, but just most of you know how to do the basic crocheting, and this is just kind of an idea to show you what I did. So my double crochet, we're just going to do a double crochet. We're going to do a triple. So we've walked that through twice. And we're going to do a half triple. So this first one, we'll pull it through the first two, and then we'll pull it through all three. So we're going to do another triple. This time we're going to do a full triple. So we're going to pull it through 2 and 2 and 2. So that should be the fattest part of our leaf. So we're going to do exactly what we did, only in reverse. So we've got that one there, so we're going to do a half triple. So the 2 and the 3. Then we're going to do our double crochet. And then our half, which is all the way through. And then our single crochet. Pull this guy back up here. Don't want to lose him. Let me get him real quick here. There we go. Okay, our single crochet. And then our slip stitch. So we're going to kind of just go around. So I'm just going to do a single stitch there. Or chain, excuse me, and then we're going to do a slip, and then we're just going to do it exactly like we did before. We're going to do a single crochet, we're going to do a half of a double, and then a double crochet, and half of a triple. So we're doing it exactly same as we did on the other side. And then a triple. And then a half. And you should be going in exactly the same stitch as you did on the other side. Let's see, I was doing a half triple here. And a double crochet. And a half double crochet. And a single crochet and a slip, and I'm going to do one more just to make this tail up, and we've kind of tucked this guy in as we're going around, and we're going to cut him, pull the tail through, make him nice and tight, and then this guy, I've already weaved him in and out a little bit, so I'm not going to weave him in and out a little bit. But we're just going to run this guy through. Just going to go back and forth and just tuck this tail in. And if you crochet, you'll understand the basics of that. Like I said, I know I don't follow patterns real well. We're going to tuck this guy back in. And if his tail sticks out at all, just trim him off. And see, we've got a leaf. We've got it nice and fat and to the point. So I've got 2 of those done. And what I'm going to do now is Mod Podge him to stiffen him up and use our Mod Podge as our stiffener, just like we did our pumpkin. I'm going to put a little bit of water in my brush just to help that sink in to my leaf. Just a tad more Mod Podge, but you don't have to do it this way. If you want to just use regular fall leaves or whatever, I just like the crochet with the crochet. And I had a tail come out there. I'm just going to trim that off. It's so far up there that it does not matter. And let this dry on a surface that you can pull it off of, like this plastic plate is really perfect that you can pull it off of when it's dry. You don't want to have it on paper or anything. And the other thing I did is I went ahead, while my Mod Podge is wet, I put some gold fine glitter onto it just to give it the holiday sparkle. Alright, so once our leaf and our pumpkin are dry, we will assemble those.
Alright, my doily is got nice and hard and dry, and so have my leaves. So we're just going to put this together, and this is really simple. I cut some 2-inch paper twists and I just unwrapped them because I thought of this pumpkin, I kind of liked a shorter stem. I didn't really want the stem to take away from the elegance of the rest of the pumpkin. And I'm just going to glue this one right around. I'm not going to do the sides out like I normally do on the stems. We're just going to do this so it's covering up our other stem. We're making it nicer, prettier looking, kind of what a cut pumpkin stem would look like if they cut it next to the base. We do just want to make sure we got that all the way down to the bottom, and I'm just gluing it on with my hot glue. And I have 3 strips here, and we'll just put that on. And I'm also going to roll up one and put one in the middle so that it kind of fills that up and makes it look more solid. And we'll have to trim him because we will get to the top of the other stem. So we'll tuck him down in here. Get it separated where we can get him. And drop my wire there. So there, we've kind of got that all on there. And I might even cut him just a little shorter. Just there, I like that better. And if you want to twist that a little bit on the end or squish that together, whatever you want. But you can see now how the top kind of looks. We've got that nice and filled in. So it looks kind of more like a solid stem. And let me grab my wire here. And let's go ahead and glue our pumpkins on. And look and see if there's a place that you kind of need covered up or you don't like it as well. Anything quite like that that you may think you want your stems to go on top of. And I'm going to put the end that's got the best tip out. And put them side by side. You could do more leaves if you wanted more leaves. That is totally up to you. And I like that they're straight, but they're gonna, because of the angle of the pumpkin, they're gonna stick up. I don't like them when they sit flat down. It's just not nature. So we've got those all done. Let's go ahead and get our wire. Just some little floral wire or craft wire to make our little kind of viney guys on our pumpkin. And you've heard me tell you, I'm sure, tuck your ends in so nobody gets poked. They're not that sharp, but I always would rather be safe than sorry. And we'll kind of put those out, and we'll glue those on. And berries. I love berries. It just kind of makes that pumpkin all go together here. In fact, I might go change that to some gold berries instead of my orange berries. Give it a little bit more of a contrast. And once we glue that on, that is our doily pumpkin. Wasn't that fun? And it really went really fast. It doesn't take long. The longest time is letting it all dry. And if you were doing a few at a time, I think those would really be cute on a Thanksgiving table. You could also put them on the glass candle stands or different lengths, so you had different heights. You could put them down the middle of the table, whatever you wanted to do with that. Have lots of fun. Come over to my new Facebook page at Miriam Joy's Waxy Crafty Corner, where I'm putting up the videos and crafts as I'm making them. So we've always got something going on for holidays or any other time as well. You'll be the first to see it. Thank you for joining me today. God bless.